I have been getting a lot of questions about the water ionizer I placed on my kitchen faucet. I'm sorry I have not been able to answer everybody who has asked questions about it. I hope this video will answer most of your questions. If they don't, please ask me. So, before I start, I want to explain that what I have is an ionizer, not a filter. You can purchase a separate filter. It's $25 for 10. It's really cheap. You don't really need to replace it every month. Every couple months is fine. It's optional. You don't even need a filter to use the ionizer. But if you want to put on a filter to filter out pipe debris and rust and things of that nature, then you can purchase a separate filter. I purchase them and I put them in. So before I start, I want to explain that what I have is an ionizer, not a filter. You can purchase a separate filter. It's $25 for 10. It's really cheap. You don't really need to replace it every month. Every couple months is fine. It's optional. You don't even need a filter to use the ionizer. This is not a filter to filter out toxins like fluoride and chlorine, just a note. So if that's what you're looking for, this is not it. This is an ionizer, and I will try to explain everything that it does. It does so much, like mind-boggling how much it does. And I'll get to that in part 2. But if you're looking for a filter, this is not it. That being said, I think it does so much more than filtered water. So I hope you'll stick around and listen to everything that it does. Another thing I want to note is this is a Korean brand, and their US website is not fully functional. I think they just opened an office in Southern California somewhere. So they ship out very quickly, they process very quickly, but you do have to fill in a form and email it to them. Or you can send it to me and I'll be happy to forward it, whichever works. But yeah, so their website isn't great. If you read Korean, if you understand Korean or Japanese, that website works better. It's fully functional and there's a lot of information on there. So I can forward you that website if you want to take a look, if you understand Korean and Japanese. Yeah. It is a Korean company, and I think in the US it's just the ionizers and skincare. They also have amazing skincare stuff, and it's cheap. It's Korean skincare for a really good price if you're interested in that. But yeah, so it is an ionizer, not a filter, and it is a Korean company that have an office here, but they're just starting out and their website really isn't functional yet. So if you want the information, please listen through my video, DM me if you have any further questions. So I want to do this in 3 parts. Part 1, why an ionizer filter, right? Why we should all have one, or why I was looking for one. 2, what it's done for me so far. It's been 3 weeks with this kitchen faucet ionizer. I've had the shower one for a couple months now. What I've noticed so far. And 3, how it works. Because ionizers, they all work differently. So, part 1, why an ionizer or a filter? If you can get both, great. But if you can only get one, I highly recommend an ionizer. I thought I needed a filter first, but I am happy that I have an ionizer now. But anyhow, the reason why I was looking for a filter and ionizer is because a year ago I saw a video of a scientist trying to spread disease through water. Water is programmable. It holds memory. Now, we are not taught these things at school, but there are plenty of people who study it, who research it. There's so much information out there if you go looking for it. It's amazing. Water is amazing. So, Watching that video was a wake-up call for me. It's so easy to do. It's so doable. And maybe it's already being done. And just seeing the difference in my skin and my oral teeth after using this water, it kind of makes me, I don't want to believe it, but it kind of makes me think maybe there's something in the water that's keeping us from being as healthy as we can. I can't prove it. I don't know. Just what I'm seeing from the difference I'm feeling from using this ionizer. So that was a wake-up call one. Around at the same time, about a year ago, I also came across information about sludge water. I'm not going into depths about it here. It's disgusting. It's gross. If you don't know about it, go research it. The last time I looked, you were still able to Google it and find the information. I don't know why it's legal, but it is legal in most states. So I recommend you look into that. So these two information I came across about a year ago. That's when I started using fruit to hydrate myself instead of water, because I wasn't sure if the water that I was drinking was good enough. I had my Berkey. I have my Berkey. I drink water from my Berkey. But yeah, I didn't feel like it was hydrating me. So I started using fruit, because the water in fruit is structured water, right? Ionized water. So I started juicing and eating more fruit, and started hydrating myself that way instead of drinking water. And then a couple of months ago, I noticed a difference in the water that I was using in my kitchen. I'm in the kitchen a lot because I don't go eat out. I cook everything. I've had so many health issues, so many symptoms that I had to overcome. I'm a health nut. Yes. Yeah, I look after myself now because I've abused my body so much in the past. So I don't eat out. I try not to. When I do, it's almost like stressful for me because I don't know what kind of oil they're using. I don't know where the food is coming from. Anyhow, I am in the kitchen a lot, and I don't have a dishwasher, so I wash all the dishes for my family with my hands. So my hands are exposed to tap water all the time. The kitchen is where I spend most of my time. My hands are in the tap water, and I don't have a filter for the house. So the water that comes out of my kitchen faucet is straight tap water, not filtered, nothing. It is straight city tap water. So I noticed a difference. I smelled the difference, and then my hands went super dry. I went off supplements just around about the same time, and that was a bad idea, but I thought maybe I could do without supplements. Obviously my body wasn't ready for it. My hands went super dry, and I put the supplements back in, but still my hands were dry. And I don't put moisturizer on my hands or pretty much anywhere except for my face now, because I've noticed that, I think it's with all the EMF, all the exposure to EMF, being on devices and computers all the time, my face, and it's just not me, it's almost everybody that I know, like within the last 2 years, their face has aged so much, just a lot faster. And it's just not my age group. Like, a lot of my friends are a lot younger than I am, but I've seen that they've aged. And my kids too. My kids have bags under their eyes, and I do believe that's EMF exposure. Again, that's another post. That's right. So moisturizer. I don't put moisturizer on my hands because that is how I bioscan myself. That is one of the quickest ways to see if I'm hydrated. If my hands are dry, then I am dehydrated. And if I put moisturizer on, I can't tell. So I don't put anything on. If my hands are dry, then I try to hydrate myself from the inside out. And that's usually using fruits and supplements. Water, H2O, does not hydrate whatsoever. You can drink 8 cups of H2O every single day, and you're just peeing out your minerals and your nutrients along with your pee. So no, I don't use water to hydrate. If there's nothing else to drink, I will drink water, but first I go to fruit. But now I have this ionized water that will help me hydrate. But anyhow, yeah, I don't use moisturizer on my hands for that reason. And I saw that it went dry, super dry, a couple months ago. And I thought there was something, because I was eating, yeah, I was not eating the best I could, but I didn't see why it needed to be that dry. So I went out and got gloves, but I hate gloves. I don't wear gloves even when I garden. So it just sat on the counter, didn't use it. My hands were still dry. So that is when I thought I seriously need to look into doing something about the water that's coming out of my faucets.